Hey, Linda, how are you?
Hey, Matt, I am fabulous today. Fabulous. It's a little overcast, but fabulous.
It is sunny and beautiful today. It's going to be a whole 81 degrees.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, gorgeous.
So
So
I had some real quick exciting news. We are gonna try a cruise tomorrow.
you're going on a cruise tomorrow?
Yeah, one of those 3-day casino things. They sent me one that you won. No, I didn't win anything. They want me to spend my money. So it's
Well,
actually
good luck with that. I think you'll have fun on a cruise. It sounds like great fun. Jen and I actually went and saw Lady Gaga's jazz and piano in concert on Saturday night in Las Vegas. So that was an awesome concert.
wow.
Yes.
Alan really wants to go to Vegas, so
Yeah, it was Vegas. So we have a fantastic guest today. I'm really excited about this one.
I am excited. Eleanor has been my idol for years. I learned to quilt watching her with my daughter.
Yeah, and I think that's a story I hear quite often, and I was really excited when Eleanor agreed to join us today. So Jillian, let's not delay anymore. Let's get Eleanor Burns on here.
Get her on. Bring her on.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for that little push, Linda. That was great. I appreciated that.
So, and it's an orange. Matt, where's your orange?
Where's my orange? I don't wear orange. I don't look good in orange. Although, it's really interesting. My oldest is a redhead, and he has his favorite shirt right now is a long sleeve orange, like jack-o'-lantern shirt. And it does not do well with his red hair. But he just loves it. He wears that everywhere.
I'm getting ready for Halloween. Orange.
Okay. I'll go.
10 days. So, as we get started, if you have any questions for Eleanor, drop them in the comments. And as we see them, Jillian will pull them up and we'll chat about them. So, Eleanor, I want to know, how did you get started?
That's a good question, Matt. Well, it probably would have to be when I first got my teaching degree, right? Because that's what I say I am. I'm a teacher. But it was really in 76 that I really started teaching quilting. And it was because I was hungry. We were hungry. My husband at the time, Bill Burns, was in law school, and I had just finished my teaching. Now I had Grant and I had Orion. And I started going to Parks and Rec, and I thought that I was going to teach stretch and sew, double knit. And they said, nope, Elle, it's 76 and everybody in the country wants to make a quilt. And I go like this, oh, I know how to make a quilt. I never made a quilt in my life or even patchwork. They believed me though. They trusted me. That's good, Matt, huh? So anyhow, I just got my first teaching jobs in Parks and Rec, teaching quilting. And so it was really fun. And I did this thing. I had this concept on log cabin. And I went home and told Bill I was going to write a book on it. And he helped me. You ready to see it?
Yes, I want to see this one.
This is, you want to see it. It was called Quilt in a Day. What a good name I had. But anyhow, he helped me, and he did all of the typing in the book on a Selectric typewriter. And he even did the drawings with an ink pen, and you will know you have the first edition, very valuable. Sometimes they're selling this for a couple $100. You got to get out there. But this is the book that Bill did. When he wanted to have a hand, you will know on page 9-6, he put out his hand and he drew his hand pulling my blocks together. And so this was it. This was the first thing, Kinko's was just new. We went ahead and actually photocopied these books. And I knew I had something when we were copying 50 at a time. And then eventually this went into print like a real book. So that really was my start. We were hungry. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I could relate. I remember going through law school in the time drain. So the fact that he could help you type up that book and go through law school, I am very impressed.
And I was just teaching it, and I got that name because I got a phone call from one of my students. I started doing these all-day classes, and I got a phone call, and she said, "You're not going to believe this. I made a twin-size quilt, and I did it all today." And so, Quilt in a Day. I have a name, and that's been it. But the story goes on because Bill passed the bar and he left us alone. Two little boys and me. And that's when we were really hungry. And that's when I really went into action and started teaching all over the country, flying all over the country, teaching from my one book, Quilt in a Day. And I always said I left empty boxes around all these quilt shops around the country and everybody got hooked. I turned everybody into strippers. Yeah. a whole country full of strippers now.
Wow. So what does it feel like to be or have been so influential to so many people, and you're just you? How does it feel to have so many people?
It does. It makes me feel really proud. I feel really proud, but everybody says when they meet me that I'm just an ordinary person. I really am. I'm just kind of shy. But I will tell you, one time I was at the quilt show, sitting at my table, and somebody came up and she looked at me and she said, "I know you." And I'm waiting for it, she says, "I know you." And I said, "I'm Eleanor Burns." And she said, "No, you're not. You're Kay Wood." So anyhow, people recognize you, but they don't really know who you are. They know I saw you on TV. Who are you anyway? So the funny thing is that I did have Kay Wood's book. And in the book, she had the same experience, but the student called her Eleanor Burns. I don't know if she was mixed up. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that does sound like fun. So when did you start the shop? Because you have a shop called Quilt in a Day in San Marcos.
Right, in 1983. 1983. That is a long time. But I had a 4-bedroom house. I had a mess of fabric and books and quilts and all 4 bedrooms. Garage was full. I said, "Forget it. I'm going out." And my boys were still young then. And at that point, I decided I was so tired of traveling. I got in the plane. I sat down. I started to cry. I said, I wanted to be a mother. I don't want to be this flying all over the country. So when we started out, my friend Brian and I said, okay, we have to be close enough to home that I can be there in 5 minutes when the boys have an accident. And that's how I ended up here in San Marcos. And it's just about maybe 10 minutes from my home in Carlsbad. 83. And we decided that we would have this studio so I could do video productions. No camera, no experience, nothing. But I just said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a production studio. And I walked in the front door of the reception area, and I looked around and said, "Oh, look, I could bring my 50 bolts of fabric over here and I could have a store. And that's how the store started and the production studio. Do you know when I first went on public television, I actually answered the telephone on Saturdays myself. So it's come a long way.
They must have been shocked when they found out they were talking to Eleanor Burns.
Yeah, I realize that when I go out, if I don't want to wear a paper bag, not to open my mouth because they all recognize my voice. And what's really fun is a lot of them say, oh, they're embarrassed. They say, oh, my husband, he watches your show. And Linda just told me that her little girl was watching her show and she was throwing stuff all over and acting like me. So you got to be careful what you do.
Yeah.
All right, Jillian, we have some comments.
Okay.
All right, so from Loretta said, what is your latest book?
Whoa, I was hoping that you would ask. Well, my latest book is just a little one because we did it during the pandemic over just simple means. It's called Diamond Log Cabin, Quilts, and Tree Skirts. And I actually, this is a reproduction of one of the books that I wrote in the 80s. And I made a tree skirt then, but look at this. This is my line from Benartex, just beautiful. And would you like to see the quilt? Do you want to see it?
I absolutely would.
Up close. Well, look behind me and you will see what the quilt looks like. Let's see. Wait, that's okay. Cut. Okay, it's this one, Eric. Oh, it's right behind me.
Just so
okay,
everyone knows,
over there. Okay.
Eleanor has a much larger production team than Linda and I have.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a while. I'm blessed to have two people here today that have been with me for a long time. But it is right behind me, and I looked at the wrong TV. So this is the one behind me. It is diamonds, and this one is just the quilt in the latest fabric called Rose Whispers. And just beautiful. But the border is really different. Orion designed the border. It's a little time consuming, but we just let him do it. So anyhow, it's really fun. And it's just, you can get it now. It's just called Diamond Log Cabin. You know, I'm hooked on log cabins. And This is another one. And this time we actually use a real artist, no Selectric typewriter, and make all of the illustrations. They're nice and big and easy to follow and fun to do. That's a good question. I was hoping you would ask that.
And I bet you could buy that on your website, which is at the bottom of the screen.
I bet you could, along with thousands of other things. It's come a long way.
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite?
Yeah, of all your quilts from your books, do you have a favorite?
Gosh, you know, every time I'm working on something, I say that's my favorite because I just dig into it and enjoy it. Oh my goodness, what could I say is my favorite? Probably would have to be the log cabin because it saved us, and it just probably is still my favorite, just to sit down. Log cabin, simple, fast, fun. That's what it's got to be. And look good.
All right. Jillian, we have quite a bit of comments, so let's try and get through some of these.
Okay.
All right. Kelly says she loves Eleanor Burns and her books. I always recommend them to beginner quilters. Been a fan since the 1980s.
Thank you.
Oh,
So
okay.
Okay, but Matt, wait. Take a guess. How many do you think I've written?
Oh.
Take a guess.
Do we win a prize?
I'm going to guess somewhere around 90.
You're doing pretty good, but it's really 140.
I was going there.
Oh,
It's
wow.
only 140.
Wow.
That's from my teaching years. I actually wrote curriculum when I was in the public school system. That's
Ah.
where it came from. See?
Yeah, see, look at that. Here's a question. I believe this is Debbie's asking, are you going to the International Quilt Festival in Houston?
You know, I am not. Right now, I've cut back on my traveling. I've been doing a number of Zooms, and that's great. I've actually even gone to like quilt groups through the Zoom, and that's been fun. But no, I don't have plans right now.
Is your first public appearance after the pandemic going to be road?
Yes, exactly. I'm actually the same week I'm having a bus load that's going to the show. Stop at Quilt in the Day first. So I'm going to be doing like a stage show. It's all in my mind. I'm writing it. It's going to be called This Is Your Life, Eleanor Burns. And I'm writing it down. But then, yes, I'll be teaching 2 classes at Rhode. I'm looking forward to it. And do you want to see that one?
Yes, we do.
It's all full, so I don't know why I'm showing you. But
They could always sign up for the wait list. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyhow, it's called Magic Pinwheel. This was just a little one that I happened to have, and it's not folded, so it's Magic Pinwheel. And I have the pattern that goes along with it, Magic Pinwheel, and I've been pushing it as magical. So, whoops. So I got I used to do this. This is what happens when you get old. You can't even open your hat. I'll be having lots of magic to show you in the class. Oh, for years I used to just swipe it and it would open. But I lost that one and I have a new one now. So I do expect to have a lot of fun. Oh, and this is what I can't wait. You know, I love my classroom at Rhode, Matt. I really do, because I always have this beautiful big classroom filled with baby lock sewing machines and assistants there to help me. And oh, it's just wonderful. But this is the best part. It's George Moore, who is the owner of the Baby Lock. And you know, we started the very first year that I would put on a boa and I would have one for him. I lost his on the floor, but we could not wait until he came into our classroom to ask how we're doing and of course to feature his machines. And the ladies knew they were supposed to start clapping, and we played some music, and I gave George his boa and I made him strip with me. And that was always one of my favorite times, having George Moore come up and strip. Boy, I hope he's going to be there this year too.
Oh, he will be. Actually, I just had a phone call with him about an hour ago.
Don't tell him that I have a boa for him.
I won't. I will let you keep that secret.
Okay, thank you.
So over the years, you've had quite a lot of involvement with Rhode. I remember we did an exhibit featuring, I think it was your 30th anniversary quilts. We put those up in the atrium.
Yes.
So what are some of your, you shared George, what are some of your other favorite memories?
You know, and I remember I put my antique quilts up. And that is was really fun for me, showing all my antique quilts. But this is probably one of my favorite memories. I'm actually pretty shy. I know you don't believe that, but I am pretty quiet in real life. And I went out the back door into the parking lot, and I met Ricky Timms. And he was just walking along there, and I grabbed him, and Ricky, you know, and he said, "Oh, you're Eleanor Burns. I never met you." So that was just a really fun memory. I'll never forget Ricky. And then he and I and Alex Anderson have shared some programs as well. So that's fun. And I do really just love meeting the people coming by and talking with me and sharing stories and taking pictures. There's a lot of pictures out there of me. My things will never be famous because there's thousands of signatures.
Wow.
You never know who you're going to find roaming up and down the aisles of Road to California. I've always been astonished at who you bump into.
Yes, right. And are there more celebrities coming this year?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. I know we're doing a since you started, back in the day garment sewing was in back in the day. And actually that's how grandma got her start, was garment sewing. And so we're doing a big full circle this year, and we're doing a garment sewing show right before Road.
Wow.
And yes, all about fashion, home decor, everything we can't fit into the footprint of Road. So the cool thing is we're having Angela Wolf come out. She's the big name for Brother. She's coming out, and we're having I think it's 50, almost 60 of the gowns from Dancing with the Stars coming from Hollywood. They're going to drive them out. Yeah, on Friday, they're going to drive them out. And we've hired professional models, and we put up this fancy runway. We've been doing all the planning for it. We're going to have a big, huge runway show featuring all those garments. I was told they range in value from $15,000 to $75,000 a piece.
Oh my gosh.
So we're really excited. So yeah, there's a lot of celebrities coming on that end. And of course, the quilters are going to show up. We've got great teachers planned, such as yourself. So we're really excited.
That's cool. You know what, Matt? I still have one of my early garments made out of a feed sack. Maybe I could model that if it fits.
You know what? I would love to see you roam up and down the aisles of ISC up in that. That would be just amazing.
All of the girls want to know what's a feed sack. So we are working on another one that I just finished, and now it's trip around the world. I'm really into AccuQuilt. This is like you can do it all with a 4.5-inch strip cutter and cut out every single one. But I'm showing you this one because the line is named after my sister Judy. Judy's Bloom, all in purples, and it's really easy. With the pandemic, we've had a lot of beginners start quilting. That's what I'm really excited about, the beginners. And so we did this one so that the beginners would have something to do. And I did this quilt. I did the top in about 4 hours. Cut it all on my AccuQuilt cutter.
That's amazing.
So that was fun. Not the quilting.
Right,
I quilt with my credit card. I don't quilt.
I always make the joke that I quilt with my American Express. I'll roam around, I'll find a quilt, and I'll point at it, and I'll hand them my credit card.
Yep. And it's the company credit card.
Oh, absolutely. We have a corporate collection of quilts we've had. Yes. So Road has been buying up quilts ever since I purchased Road, however long ago it's been now. We've actually been starting on a pretty hard push to have a corporate collection of different quilts, and it is a very eclectic collection. We have found out Matt has very interesting tastes. All the way from, we purchased some of the Egyptian quilts. We have some whole cloths. We've got turtles. We've got everything. So we've just been going crazy on that. If anybody has any more questions, put them in the chat. We're just about out of time. I think Jillian has a couple more she can pull up here. She's looking at me funny, so hold on. Any more, Jillian? Here we go. TN says she was privileged to take several classes from you, and she's still stripping after 25 years.
Yes. That's the name of one of my books, Still Stripping. Still stripping. And I'm still stripping. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, Eleanor, I haven't seen you since January of 20, so it's just nice to see you and catch up with you after all these years. What have you been doing during the pandemic?
Well, the last March, when the pandemic started, my staff was very kind. They said, Eleanor, you're one of those. You better get out of town. So I had a second home in Julian that's in the mountains, and it's an hour and 15-minute drive from San Marcos, where this building is. And I just went right up to Julian just to be secluded and to really take care of myself. And so I was doing okay for a while, but then I started having meltdowns because I missed everybody. I missed people. I missed teaching. And so Brian and I took my sewing room and made it social distancing. I have 8 baby locks. We pushed them all 6 feet apart. We put a camera and monitors through my studio. It looks like a production studio now. So people could actually come, sit in their masks, sit far away from me, and we've been sewing together. I started doing charity work. Can you believe that? Everything we've been making has been going for sale, and we're purchasing scholarships for the teenagers. We have, they go to some of the companies that give out, some of the groups that hand out food, just for everybody in need in Julian. People have been coming to my sewing room, and we're having a great time sewing, reselling our projects, and I've really enjoyed it. It's different. No more meltdowns.
Sounds like a great time.
Yes, it worked out. Really beautiful.
Wonderful.
And but I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
I have lunch with the jays, the squirrels, the chipmunks come right at my feet. I have a lot of friends up there.
Well, Eleanor, it's been so nice to catch up with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe, and we will see you in about 8 weeks or so.
Oh my God, that close? Wow.
Yeah, it's getting close. So perfect. Thank you. All right, Linda. Well, that was fantastic. We will have another episode of It's So Road happening. Hold on, let me check my calendar. We'll have another episode of It's So Road on November 4th.
November 4th.
Yep. And we will have I think we actually have some product reviews that might start happening again, and have a great time. So until next time, everybody stay safe, wear your masks, and get ready to come out to Road to California.
Yeah, we're excited.
Very excited. Take care, everyone.